Huh. This is quite the place. Keep it together, Meggy. Wait, action figures? Of us? Huh? Puzzles?
Now, Meggy. Care to join me?
Don't join him, Meggy. Huh? Wait a minute.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Machroma channel. We are finally back with a theory video. My days, it's been how long are we talking now? Over 170 days since the last theory video, and it's safe to say I have become old and rusty with the format of these videos dating back from the days of simplicity in March 2023 up until now. Brushing it aside, let's talk about War of the Fat Italians 2024 and Meggy not being present within it. A bit of a weird one, don't you think? War of the Fat Italian 2024's hint and teasers have not been in any of the videos. Instead, we seem to be getting the side story of Mr. Puzzle, which, hey, I'm not complaining, but what has Mickey Mouse got to do with this side story? The side story of Mr. Puzzles has been gaining traction since the last one had concluded, with Mr. Puzzles declaring that the next target within his list is Mario. Or is it? Due to the consistent uprise of the headache-inducing bells in both Puzzles and Meggy's mind, it's safe to say there will eventually be a time where they will reunite and connect to each other again. This is further backed up with the War of the Fat Italian 2024 teaser posts that have been coming out recently, with the main one showing no signs of Meggy's arm holding a War of the Fat Italian 2024 ticket. Instead, it appears to have been replaced with Karen's hand, which this further ties in later down the road. We first started to see signs of Mr. Puzzles creating a new story from the Inside Out spin-off. Within this video, there isn't much to decipher, apart from these key points. Meggy was appointed to the Joy emotion, which, within the movie Inside Out, not Inside Out 2 by the way, Joy is the leader of the emotion group. Another is when SMG4 is opening the fridge. We see this strange liquid labelled Mr. Puzzle's special brain juice. Now for the whole story itself, this is not important, but this is probably how Mr. Puzzles got into SMG4's mind within this video. Meggy, upon seeing the drink, takes it and does the command for SMG4 to drink it, in which everyone else was denying not to. This is because Meggy had the leggy hallucination brain damage that showed a different side of Puzzles, giving us the first glance at Meggy trusting Mr. Puzzles in a sense. Now as we know, Mr. Puzzles loved Leggy as a loyal companion, but since the turn back, Mr. Puzzles has obviously been alone, and so when Meggy had given the control signal to drink the brain juice, in comes Puzzles having the control briefly, and does the one thing he loves most: turning people into something different. He proceeds to target and turn Meggy back into the abomination that is known as Leggy. Now, I don't need to explain the rest of the episode itself, but Leggy goes on an adventure, finds Mario, blah 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 blah, I don't really care. Then at the end of the video or show, Mr. Puzzles pops back in again, reverts the changes done to Meggy, in which she realizes Puzzles and becomes hostile immediately, showing that the bond between them has not fully meshed. Now the next one within the story is We Must Kill Mario. Remember when I was discussing the replacement of Meggy's hand with Karen? Well, this is where it comes into play. Within this video, we get a backstory of Karen and who she was. Now if you don't know, Karen is the lowest rank of the main cast among Swag and Chris levels. She doesn't get frequent screen time and is usually only used for a portion of a video. Karen is the mother of 3 children within the SMG4 universe and has a typical minimum wage job in majority of the videos she's featured in, being the cashier that is so fed up with her life, in which now we know why. This video shows Karen as a possible retired assassinator or hitman. Upon getting the call from a recognizable voice to Karen, the emotions suddenly change from happy to shocked and somewhat scared of how this caller has found her. The caller asks for a favour, in which Karen denies at first due to her new life that she now controls. The caller refuses, saying that she's the right person for the job and that it is personal. The caller proceeds to show from intel sources that a terrorist broke free from prison and proceeds to show a silhouette 3D rendering of Mario, saying that she might know the fugitive. She eventually takes the job and the caller says to make it quick and simple: kill Mario. Which, when we tie it back to the ending for a night at SMG4's, Puzzles explains that he is going after Mario because Mario kept ruining Mr. Puzzles' plan, always ending his plan when he's about to make it. So count this as Puzzles' first attempt at trying to get Mario. Now, hold your horses. Puzzles wasn't shown anywhere in this episode apart from a short snippet from his show Mario's Mysteries. How are you certain that it is Puzzles? Yes, I know at the end of the video it's revealed that it's Marty that was behind all of this, not Mario. Mario was only involved with these weird spaghetteria poisoning enthusiasts because, in his mind, it seemed to be a spaghetti appreciation club, which a henchman further goes on to denying and reveal the sauce is poisoned before dying. Karen realizes she put that sauce onto the food the kids were about to eat, so they all rush home to find none other than Marty there. Marty had gained 2 new abilities, such as being able to talk and moving around in a remote wheelchair for easy mobility. But how did he escape? We are not told within the video or any future videos as a matter of fact, and this is where I believe Mr. Puzzles comes into play. You see, Marty and Puzzles possibly struck a deal to get Marty out of prison at the cost to be recruited and go after Mario. After all, Marty was left behind and Mario was a traitor breaking his trust. Mr. Puzzles wants to get back at Mario and become on top again, so the only way to do this is to get rid of Mario in whatever shape or way that's possible. Eventually, Marty is outmatched, wheels away into a private-owned helicopter and is never to be seen again at the time of making this video. Now, why Karen out of all characters, and why introduce the backstory of this side character that us, the viewers, never knew about? This is to tie in with the events of what's about to happen with War of the Italians 2024. You see, this year's WOTFI is disguised as a positive, fun, and interactive carnival WOTFI, but I know deep down there is going to be some serious moments going down, like SMG4 has been doing with these videos, masking the movies with positivity, but then having dark meanings or scenes beneath it. Something will go down within the WOTFI, something that won't be going according to the SMG4 crew's plan. Within the WOTFI 2024 teaser post, Meggy hasn't turned up. So, off to search for her, which then they encounter a bunch of hostile henchmen, which is where Karen's skill comes into play again. Also a thing to note, Karen said she owes one to SMG4 and Mario for helping save her kids. Does this mean the one that is owed is possibly a sacrifice? Okay, let's start with this section and continue with the puzzle's side story. The next one in line is Mario loses his mustache, with Mr. Puzzles coming out from the shadows into a more cartoony aspect. Count this as Puzzles' second attempt at trying to get or replace Mario. Within this video, Mario wakes up to having no mustache. We see within the video that without Mario's mustache, he loses all his comedic effect and is rendered practically useless. His powers of pulling guns from his arse are over and become error objects. He struggles to be able to do the iconic triangle face and make funny meme language. Just before the evil warrior werehead quits, the door slams with an obvious clone / remake of Mario with the mustache of power. Mario immediately locks onto it and him and the cast proceed to go after this Mario clone for around 2 to 3 minutes just to fill the video up. Eventually, Mario and SMG4 set up a trap for the clone version which works like a treat. A similar video a while back saw with Mario's heart, people instantly become retarded and crazy, and it's the same idea here. If the mustache is on, you get the perks of Mario, the endless power-drawing individual with the passion for spaghetti. Before SMG4 and Mario can attack the clone, out comes Mr. Puzzle's hand, and before he can debut himself in the video, he already gets his face fucking smashed in. Oh, I love these random moments. Anyways, Puzzles talks about his new friend Pedro, the creation to replace Mario. From the short previous story of Mr. Puzzles and the Comedy Zone, we can see Mr. Puzzles wants to gain the audience back again and become funny. Within this video, however, Mr. Puzzles does research on Mario and the mustache and finds out the mustache is what's giving the ability to create the funny in the first place, which, as we know, is what Mr. Puzzles wants. Mr. Puzzles creates his own funny version to hopefully boost his ratings up. After the whole monologue thing or whatever, I don't really care, Pedro and Mario fight over the mustache. They both get half of the mustache, which gives Mario and Pedro each some power. Eventually, some show is hosted with Mario tapping into his inner stash and gaining full power, getting the mustache back, which renders Mr. Puzzles in yet another failure. Now, there isn't a lot to conclude with this video except for the fact that some fans can now clearly see where this is going. Puzzles is trying his every way to get revenge on Mario for all the plans that have been foiled. However, the more plans Mr. Puzzles does, the more it fails, which gives off, I guess, more revenge energy. Now, the final video so far is Mr. Puzzles' lowest point, in which, TLDR, he becomes really low in his content standards, concedes his high stakes, and resorts to brain rot, which gets traction, but for all the wrong reasons. Brain rot kids are not that big of an audience, and within the video, his star ratings actually go below 0 because of how low the standards have gone for the creations, and that normal people such as the SMG4 crew, as an example, critique him. We do see at the start of the video, however, Puzzles is getting ever so slightly hostile with the feud between him and Mario by having some underground bunk hideout with a cardboard cutout of Mario. This gives a very faint direction to Marty's existence, but nothing major. Within this section of the video also, we see a billboard on the wall with lots of remnants to Leggy as a team. All characters crossed out except from Meggy, classified documents, the tie-ins to Puzzlevision and the ratings, and some random bullet point factual checker for the difference between Puzzlevision and SMG4's show. Now within this video also we see Puzzles and Meggy acting like children towards each other, with Puzzles stating, "Meggy, so fancy running into you out here. I'm on my way to the top. Care to join the winning side?" Which infuriates Meggy. Meggy knows something is hatching in Mr. Puzzle's mind, proceeds to attack him and basically say in the kindest way possible to fuck off. And he runs off and boom. The leggy brain damage hallucination comes into play, trying to lure Meggy to join Puzzles' side, which is eventually going to consume Meggy's mind and she'll give in, which in turn is why Meggy is not present within these WOTFI teaser posts on the community tab. Yes, I know characters like Psycho are not there either, but you have to remember that there is the main cast first tier, which features Mario, SMG4, SMG3, and Meggy. Then there's the second tier, which features Bob, Tari, Boopkins, Psycho, etc. You can't just forget Meggy that easily, and besides, when they forgot Luigi out of all characters with the Showgrounds teaser, they quickly remembered to write that they forgot him accidentally, whereas this is not accidental. Meggy is not present in the teaser because she is working with Mr. Puzzles at the time the WOTFI comes out. That concludes my theory, and I'm sorry for becoming tired and everything. Yeah, I had to edit this video in the space of a couple of hours, and so the editing got very lazy very quickly. Don't expect all videos to be like this in the future, but yeah, thank you for sticking around to the end. If you've been watching this far, I don't know why you would be. But yeah, good luck, and let's see what the next episode has to offer for us.